we're getting like our school community is like we put a lot. I put so much time into the school community every day. Like every day I'm interacting with like the community and like asking questions and shit. Check this out. So this is our school community. That we have 6,700 members now. And if you go,
is it paid?
No, this is just free.
Yeah.
We don't sell anything on this. And if you go to our Discovery, we're ranked 11 in hobbies.
Fuck.
So if you go to hobbies, you know, on the like Discover, and you go hobbies, we're rank 11.
That's cooked.
Look how far. We're literally like number one of the.
And hobbies is the first category.
Hobbies is the first category.
Go back down as well. Is that you and Nathan?
Yeah, it's
that's
me,
your
Nathan.
little fucking
That, number one League of Legends improvement community.
So number one League of Legends. Oh wait, no, that's you.
Yeah, so some are free and some are like paid.
Yeah.
So this is another gaming one, but it's a different game.
Yeah. So what is it about school that makes it so good?
Well, it's a way of people monetizing their hobby or like their skill.
Yeah.
So like think about it. You would be in probably like, I mean, there's heaps, right? You would maybe in money.
Yeah. Is there like
tech.
a creative one?
What would you be in? Probably
Could fall in hobbies, to be honest.
maybe hobbies potentially, but yeah, and there's heaps. I mean, there's ones that do teach people how to like. I mean, there's a shit ton. I mean, just go through. There's some that teach you how to like start your own Etsy thing, and yeah, you could do one. You should. That's what I'm saying. You should 100% have one because look at this one. Join Etsy mentor.
True.
These are all. Look at this one. Learn up your affinity pros. Some of it teach you how to draw, chess, dance, leather, fucking chihuahua. How to fucking teach a dog how to look. This is.
Yeah,
Look, this one. This is production, train, film, and shine. This one, it's acting classes.
Is your community pretty engaged?
Yeah, it's really engaged. Look at this one. Fucking hell, I hadn't even seen this one before. $99, 800 members.
Fuck, paying $100 a month.
Killing it. I need to link that to Nathan. Tattoo Academy. Fucking how to be a tattoo artist. This is because we're entering a day and age where it's so hard to monetize your audience.
Yeah.
Like, if you're on like YouTube and shit, you can't connect. There's no community. You can't interact with your viewers properly because YouTube comments is a shit place to fucking. You know what I mean? So like, if you like have a.
But what's the difference?
So this is the competitor to Patreon, for example.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And this is a better platform.
But what's the difference to Discord? Why wouldn't they just talk to each other in Discord?
Because you can actually sell courses and do paid courses in there.
In the
Yeah, I'm gonna listen to Nathan.
So it's good marketing as well, isn't it?
So now it's gonna be like what Facebook was before it fucking became like shit.
Yeah.
It's like early. If you get in earlier, it's like
Yeah. He got started. Now he's got.
Yeah, sorry. But I think it's important for him to see it. I honestly think like you should 100% be looking into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a few school communities.
Like I think it's the future, dude. We really think it's the future.
Having that $9 a month. To start off is great because you can do that. Start off, and let's say it's going well, then you can always go up to
If I were you would just start it probably to be a free community.
Yeah.
And maybe yours is like good ideas. We're a community for creatives who want to like learn how to fucking, I don't know, figure it out. But like, you know what I mean? Whatever you want it to be. Who do you want to attract?
Yeah.
What sort of, and you make the community that the people that you want to be around.
Because I'm always looking for new freelance, like different creatives to give jobs and stuff to as well. So it could be a place where you can like showcase your work. It's like also helping teach them on how to market themselves properly. Yeah. And then if there is anyone that is like, it's a way for me to then learn about other people who are doing well and I can actually get them jobs and shit as 100%.
Well. 100%. Yeah. That's exactly what a huge school is. Like, it's like people who are in that thing and no, it's really cool.
No, I'm a big fan.
So heaps of like entrepreneurs basically. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Number 11 in hobbies.
Yeah. The
fact that it comes up on that as well.
When we saw that, watching the video, I'm like, I fucking lost my shit.
Were you watching it with Nathan?
I watched it with Charlie and Nathan at Nathan's place.
And he's like, what the fuck? Like, that's us.
And he like moved his mouse over it. And I'm like, is he going to click on it? So they'd obviously know of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like we're like fanboys of like that guy. So
yeah, I know. You sent me his videos.
He's a genius.
Yeah,
I think he's an actual genius.
Yeah,
marketing genius.
I like the way he does his videos as well. Even
so like raw.
Yeah, it's not overcomplicated.
Not overcomplicated.
Similar to the other guy.
Business should be.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be complicated.
Yeah, you don't need a like whole big production crew and all this stuff. It's like
and like how simple school is. Like that's a really beautiful business.
Yeah,
it's so simple. And the most like really good businesses, they should be elegant.
Yeah,
it's an elegant thing.
Are you elegant?
In my coaching, I'm not in person.
Not in person.
Not in person.
All right, let's kick this off. So to start off, I'll sit down.
Yeah.
So you get up.
Okay.
And then I'll just do like a little introduction.
Yeah.
After the introduction, you sit down and just like clap for yourself as you sit down. Viv, you can clap as well when you sit down.
Okay.
G'day legends, welcome back to Mikey Talk. Today we have episode 15 and it's another very special guest episode. This guy was one of my best mates in high school. We've stayed in touch ever since. He's the king of League of Legends and have just crafted himself an incredible life through a passion of gaming. He's got a great story, so I'm excited to sit him down and have a chat. So please welcome Coach Curtis. Then you sit down and give it a clap. How you doing, Curtis?
Good. So you want me to introduce myself?
You can introduce yourself.
I'm Curtis, and I've been in the gaming space for the past few years, and yeah, basically help people get better at a particular game called League of Legends.
Big game.
Yep, big game.
I've heard of it. All right, so I've got 10 questions for you. To start off, I want to go back to the RMIT days where we were studying building surveying together.
Yep.
What was the exact moment you realised that you're going to drop out and pursue League of Legends professionally?
Yeah, it's actually a really, it's a really funny story actually. So basically, I was working as a surveyor and I was kind of doing this League of Legends thing, like more of a as a player, competitive, just as a hobby. And I thought to myself at that time, like, there's not really a future in this. Like, I didn't really think it was going to be like a real, like lucrative, like a career. I thought it was just more of like a passion, hobby thing. And anyway, it kind of started to take off, like that whole industry of like esports, the whole thing started to take off. And Nathan, my friend at the time, was like, Curtis, like, you should come. We're gonna move to Sydney and we're gonna like start up there. We got some investment from these VCs, and we have this opportunity to like build something pretty cool, like start a team properly. And I had a job. I was studying at RMIT, and I was on a building site with one of my colleagues who is like this 60-year-old like old school surveyor. And one day I said to him, look, his name's Jess. And I said, Jess, like, I'm in this situation where I feel like I have this opportunity to do something like pretty cool, but it's like very risky. And I couldn't really explain to him what it was, but like I just said at a high level, like I got this opportunity. And he said, look, when I was very similar to your age, it was like, would have been like 20, how old would have been? Like 20, maybe like 21 or something. Yeah. And he's like, I lived in New Zealand. He lived in New Zealand at the time. And I had this, I feel like him and his mate, they were two best mates. And him and his mate. And he had this opportunity to like get a job overseas. And he's like, I just want to get out of here and do something. And it didn't make sense. Like, you know, the safe route would have been to stay in New Zealand. He had a partner at the time and like just go down the normal path. But he had a gut feeling like, what, you know, I'm young. It's like a 1 in a million opportunity to go. And he just drove. He went to London and just drove buses, and it didn't make sense. And his best mate couldn't do it. He's like, I've got a job. I've got a girlfriend. I feel like I can't. Sorry, you're just gonna have to go by yourself. And he ended up that, you know, going from London driving buses to basically it set him on this path where he ended up living this amazing life, traveling all over the world, doing all these different jobs, becoming an amazing surveyor, getting into an awesome, like, living this beautiful life that he's like, so he said, like, I just lived the greatest life. And he's like basically going to retire. And his friend made all the wrong choices. He was always regretted it. You know, he regretted not leaving New Zealand, regretted like not taking that leap of faith. And he's like, one lesson that he's always kept with him is like, if you're ever faced with a decision, like an opportunity that is like one in a lifetime, you always say yes. And he's been faced with many of them, and he's always said yes. And that's the lesson. He said, take that as you will type thing. And I'm like, yeah. And then at that moment, after that conversation, I went home and I'm like, I think I'm going to do this. So I quit my job, and basically, left my girlfriend and just went all in and just drove up to Sydney and just did it. And it didn't really make any logical sense because I was on like a path that like, was already had a job and finished my degrees, like boom, 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 laid out. But I just kind of went with my gut, and it ended up leading me into living an amazing life so far. So, yeah.
At what point did you tell your parents? Was it that night when you got home from work?
Yeah. I basically got home and I said, look, I don't know how to say this any other way, but I just got to, I think I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to move to Sydney. And my parents were just like, what the hell? Like my dad especially was just like, this doesn't make sense. What are you doing type thing.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. I said, I just got to do it.
Sick. All right. So you went from playing as Sharp for Direwolves to becoming their head coach and leading them to 4 consecutive titles. What made you change from player to coach?
It was actually all with uni. So like I wanted to move away. Like again, I didn't see a career at that time. It was just pure serendipitous. It was like I was a player and I'm like, to continue being a player is a big time investment. You got to be constantly playing the game and be really good. And then I was like transitioning out, like taking uni seriously and working as a surveyor. So I just end up like kind of retiring as a pro player basically. And then I actually end up having 6 months away from the game. And that's when Nathan basically rang me up and was like, I want you to come back as a coach.
Yeah.
So because I didn't have an interest in coming back as a player and they needed a coach. So it was kind of like, it was this role and everyone I was more of like a strategical minded player. So everyone like really respected the way I viewed the game at a high level. And it's like, you should do this. And I'm like, because I didn't really see myself having a career as a player. I wanted to like branch out and move on to something else. And he's like, you should 100% come back as a coach. And I just went with it. Yeah, it wasn't really like planned. It's not like I planned to be a coach. It was just the right position for me.
Yeah. Sick. Next one, we're talking about this just a little bit earlier as we've been hanging out. As what was on the TV before? The MSI.
Mid-season Invitational.
Yeah, so we caught the end of that and sparked a bit of a conversation. So you represented Australia at MSI and World Championships. So what was it like walking into those international events?
Yeah, it's very, very, I mean, at that time, in 2017, 2018, when we went to MSI and Worlds, you're putting your heart and soul into your craft, right? And you make a lot of sacrifices to be there, and your entire livelihood, your entire life revolves around how do I be the best coach and make our team the best possible team. And so when you finally make it to the end, you make it to that that tournament, it's a lot of nerves. There's a lot of I honestly think the first time I went, I wasn't mentally equipped to deal with that. The how big it was. It was so big. Like your OS where at max you're probably only having online like maybe 40,000-50,000 people watching, and then you go to the international stage and there's millions, tens of millions.
It's like more than NBA finals.
It's massive because it's a global thing, right? So everyone's watching from all around the world, and so I remember the first international event we went to was big one was Brazil in 2017, and we versed the Brazilian team, and it was a stadium full of Brazilians all screaming, and some players couldn't handle it. Even me, it was a lot of nerves because as a coach you have a pretty active role in the strategy, and so I would say that it was it forced me to learn a lot about myself. And I think that's where we had this kind of mentor at that time who taught me a lot about the emotional side and the dealing with emotions, how do you manage your emotions, and learning more about how the mind works under pressure. And so that's where I started. I think after that first event in 2017, I full nerded out and read every book about performance. I read books about NFL coaches, NBA, John Wooden was a massive inspiration to me. Obviously he had a massive impact in college basketball. in NFL. What's his name? I actually haven't read the book yet. But yeah, Bill Walsh, the score takes care of itself. He was the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers.
Sick.
And he turned around that whole organization. So I wanted to learn about how do I actually create a winning organization from like, his whole philosophy was that when he came into the 49ers, it's like every person the person who mowed the lawn to the person who's at the reception, everyone mattered in that organization. And that transformed my way of viewing how you perform on a day is the culmination of everything leading up into that point. And so you have like John Wooden again, all about the principles, like the pyramid of success, like, you know, the way you do your laces in your shoes, you know, that's what John Wooden was all about. You have to have your socks done properly so you don't get blisters. Like, so I had to pull inspiration from all these different places to understand how to perform and how to like be consistent. And that's like where I think my mind went down a different path there.
That's so interesting, taken like from the sport world into it, because it's the same core foundations are the same, aren't they?
Just high performance in everything. And it was the same high performance in, I was like, poker players, tennis, even business, like traders, like learning about the psychological aspect of performing under pressure. That's basically what I became obsessed with.
People at the top of their craft.
Yeah, top of their craft, exactly right.
So you've built your YouTube channel to 130,000 subscribers and created the We Teach League Academy. What's the business story behind turning your league knowledge into these ventures? Yeah,
so basically after my time in the pro scene, working in the esports, I decided I wanted to help like the average person. I had all this knowledge, right? Imagine you're like, you know, again, like a John Wooden going from coaching college to like coaching the local team who's like under 12s or something. Like, how do you go from that? It's like a completely different mindset, right? And so basically I had all this knowledge, and at that time it was, again, lucky, well, not luck, but it was like good timing. It was like anyone who had my level of knowledge was working in the pro scene. No one was incentivized to share that knowledge with the wider people, like the general player base, because they would make so much money working in the pro scene. So at that time, actually, I remember after I left Direwolves at the end of 2019, I had offers to go to Europe and actually coach for one of the teams in London. I had a head coach position, and I turned that down to do my YouTube, which made no sense. Yeah. Again, it was a position in my life that made no sense. Once again. And basically, I'm like, okay, well, there's a huge opportunity here. Like, no one's building their brand as a coach online to share that knowledge with the wider player base. So I was the first one to like actually break down the game for the average player, and that gave me that kind of player base or that audience. And then I thought about how to monetize my audience, and the traditional way, like you would a normal like coach in any other sport, would be one-on-one coaching, right? So a really good coach someone would hire them as a coach, right? So I guess the two ideas would like, pro players would hire me. That's what I thought I would do, and I would be like a personal coach for a pro player. Or maybe I would do one-on-one coaching with just people paid by the hour to do a coach, right? And I realized very soon that that's not sustainable. It wasn't really like a career. I mean, I could do that, but it's like, you're trading kind of time for money. So Nathan, that's where Nathan comes in. He realized he's like he was the CEO of Direwolves, and he ended up kind of doing the same thing as me at a similar time. And he had this idea about kind of scaling coaching. And he found a model to scale coaching, basically. And so that started that path of like creating We Teach League over the course of years.
Yeah. Sick. It's cool to see that pivot as well.
Yeah.
Like actually then being able to monetize knowledge in a way.
Yeah, and it's actually, no one had done that. And even still now, we're the only company who's actually scaled coaching globally, which gave us the first mover's advantage. And that's kind of been no other companies figured out how to do that. And we still are the only company in the world that has done that successfully. And that's given us a massive advantage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Remember that house party at my house? It got completely out of control?
Yeah.
What's your version of that story?
In terms of me, like, you mean me recalling that event?
Yeah.
Like what I remember?
Yeah.
I remember just how out of control it got. It got progressively more out of control. I remember everyone was just like, I just remember the place becoming a mess. Like the place was so, I remember everyone just drinking, doing dumb shit, and like, who the fuck are all these randoms? Like, who are these people? Like, I've never seen these people before, and I guess I was just present. I think I just enjoyed it. I think that's what I think for me, I was just like, it was just a good time. Like, I think everyone was having a really good time. I think that's honestly one of my most memorable nights, because it was like everyone was just really it just felt like a really pure, like, present, good time. I don't really know how to explain it. You know what I mean? Like, no one was thinking, like, oh my God. It was just like, let's just have a good time. Yeah. That's how I felt anyway for me.
It's like a good representation of, not so much peak high school, but like that type of mode, like that party mode of high school when you're 16, 17, coming of age, you're like still like maturing and actually getting into the flow of that.
Yeah. And like, I think everyone was like just really present. That's what I remember. Everyone was so present. Everyone was just like having a good time. No one was like thinking, oh my God, like what's going to happen? I think everyone was just in the moment.
Yeah. That point where you're still stressing about like what you're going to do after school or whatnot. It's just like, we've got no other responsibilities except for having fun right now.
Yeah. Everyone was just having fun. Everyone just had a really good time.
Sick. You're getting married in Vegas this October. Yeah. What are your current feelings on that, and why did you decide this over a traditional wedding?
Well, I think it wasn't only my decision. It's like a joint decision with my partner Vivian, and I think for us, I'm incredibly excited. I think something that I guess reflecting on it, both for her and I, the way decisions we've made in our life have never we've never kind of gone down the traditional path in anything. You know, Viv comes from China and has made every like decision that doesn't make sense in the world. Like, she went from being in a great university and college and living this, it could have been a really like traditional life, to moving to Australia and then changing her degree, and then she worked in like fitness and stuff. Like, it makes no sense. Like, she's made decisions that just don't make sense. And I think she's always been like a rebellious in that sense, in like kind of counter culture in a way, or counter like the norm. And I think I'm the same as well. I've always kind of been a bit of a fringe case, never fit in. I don't feel like I fit into like any bucket neatly, which is why I think I get along well with you. Like, I feel like we don't fit the mold, in a way. And I didn't want to, but it's not because we're purposely not fitting the mold. It's almost just like, I don't know, I'm just like repelled. Like, I just don't want to do the norm. And so the whole idea of like spending a shit ton of money on an event for other people just didn't really click with Viv and I. And we just wanted to be about us. And like, we wanted to spend time together, and we wanted to, the thing that is really attracted us to this whole thing is like, why don't we just spend that money on us? And then we can come back and we can do something like actually have a good time with the people that we want to, but we don't really care about that tradition. The traditions, things are changing all the time, you know what I mean? And it's not that I don't respect them. I respect the choice that respect the choice that other people make, but it's like, you should make decisions that make sense for you, not because they've been done that way in the past. And I think that's something we follow to this day. It's like, do we really want to do this? Or are we doing this because everyone else says we should do this? And I think that's the thing. And in my life, for me personally, nearly every good thing that's happened in my life has come from a decision that hasn't made logical sense and hasn't been the norm. And I think nowadays, like, you get rewarded for being, in all time, for being intentional. Like, what am I? I want to be an active participant in my life. I don't want to just be, influenced by, media and influenced by like the mainstream, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's kind of like the big thing for me. It's like, if I want to do it, I'll do it. And there are traditional things that I'll do, but there are other things I'm like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're going to get Elvis to marry you instead.
Yeah, exactly right. And you're going to be there.
Yeah, fucking so keen for that. It just happened randomly. What's the most unexpected challenge that you face building your coaching business that nobody warns you about when you're transitioning from player to entrepreneur?
It's a good question. I would say entrepreneurship in general is just not for everyone. And it's just, we've had this conversation a few times. Like, you don't see the people that fail, you only see the people that make it. And I think that entrepreneurship is,
there's a lot of hidden sacrifices that people don't talk about. And there's a lot of like hidden work that no one else sees that you're doing. And I've also realized the psychology behind when you finally get into a position where people like be like, oh wow, like what you've got is really cool. They don't see all the other things. I took all the risk, all these risks. And when other people like had that stable income or that, they had that security. I didn't have that security. I didn't have that stable income. I didn't have that. So, if it works out really well. It's like a giant, like, it's like a 1 in 1,000. If it works great. But if it doesn't, it's like, obviously I don't have that fallback. I didn't have that backup plan, So I think for me, what surprised me is how hard it really was. I did not know how hard it really was. And I think I was naive. I didn't, if I were going back in time, knowing what I know, I'd be like, far out, do I really want to do this?
I was going to ask that.
It's like I don't, being logical, I wouldn't do it because it was so hard. It was so, and Viv can be a testament to that. Like through COVID, like I was working every day, 12 to 15 hours a day, every day, like no days off basically for years. No one sees that. And then you get to a point where like, it's like, fuck, yeah, what you're doing is cool. But like, even I didn't know what it would take.
Yeah.
Even I didn't know. But you're in the middle of it, you're in the thick of it. And it's like, well, I'm all in now. I have to find a way to make it work. And I'll think for me, like, I didn't realize how hard it really was.
Yeah.
To make it.
You can't just bail in the middle because you're already, at that point, committed. You've already fucked off the backup plan.
Exactly right. There's no backup plan. I'm like all in. And then I feel like that's kind of the mentality you're in. You're kind of like surviving. You're just trying to survive. And then if you survive long enough, you develop the skills and the confidence and you just figure shit out. Yeah. And I'll say the other thing I've really learned is it's about people. It's about who you surround yourself with. I think you think entrepreneurship is like a solo game. It's not. It's like it's about people. And without the people I've had around me, I never would have made it. And it's because of people like even Viv and Nathan and Charlie and other people in my life that like John and stuff that I wouldn't have even had the mental capacity to keep on going. And I think having a support group for mental stuff is really important.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nathan, your podcast, Broken by Concept with him, how did that partnership come about? And is there any aspect of League that you disagree on?
So basically, we felt as though there was just, again, it was one of those things, there was no one doing it. There was no one doing a podcast about the game. And we're like, why is no one doing it? Like, we love the game. That we're passionate about the game. Like, we could just talk about it forever. In like something that you think about it, you would talk to your mates probably about footy and you could talk about it for ages, forever basketball. It's like, because you just enjoy it, you know what I mean? Like, you could just talk about it forever. And so for us, we literally came in, we sat on a couch. If you go to our episode 1, it's like the most scuffed thing ever. No lighting. It's like the shittest camera. It's blurry. It's like we're like in our trackies. It's like, it didn't make any sense. And it was like, why don't we just... And then people enjoyed it. It was like, people were watching it. We were listening. And like, okay, why don't we just keep going? And that's kind of like... Yeah, it just came out naturally. It was really, really natural. It didn't even make sense till like the third year in. Like, it literally was a loss of money from the time investment it took to prepare it, do it, record it, edit it, upload it. That whole thing. It's like a whole day, like, gone. Yeah. Basically. Like, why would we do this? It makes no sense. And then it finally paid dividends again in the long run. Again, another non-logical decision.
At episode like 200, 3 years later.
3 years later, it's like, oh, okay, cool. This actually makes sense. But now it didn't make sense for so long. But yeah, in terms of what we disagree on, yeah, I mean, we disagree. Like, he's more like, okay, like, I guess a metaphor or an analogy you could use is he's more like cerebral about the game in terms of just like, strategy, meaning more than like the actual execution. So where we differ is like he thinks like it's all about the strategy more so, and I'll say it's more about like the execution. So like I think if you're really good at the execution, even if your strategy doesn't make as much sense, I don't know what that would be in like traditional sport. I guess like you'd have a really like technical player that can like do things, but they don't maybe understand the game big picture. I think that's kind of more important in the context of the game that we play. So we kind of disagree sometimes about how to like what skills you should develop in what order and how you would go about that.
Yeah. Cool. back again to the RMIT version of yourself, what would you tell that Curtis who was unsure about dropping out to chase this dream?
Far out, man. It's so hard to like even say, because I feel like there's nothing I could say that would like, wow, it's so, okay. I would say it would actually have nothing to do with like work. It would actually be all about waking myself up to, this is going to sound really like trippy, kind of a bit weird, but sometimes when you're brought up in like the traditional like school, you go to school and you go to uni and you're following that path, you don't realize that you're part of a society. Like you're just playing a part. You know what I mean? Like you're just a cog in the machine. You know what I mean? You're just like, but you don't realize that you are part of it, and that you can make a decision about what role you want to play in society, and you can make a decision about how you want to go about how you act in the world. Like a part of me felt like when I was in university, I was just like a victim. It's just like I'm reactive to events happening to me, rather than thinking I can actually. There's incredibly successful people out there that do the like. Why don't I just? You need to wake up. Like, what role are you playing in society? I'd probably say something about like, you need to stop being a passenger, and you need to stop being a passenger of life and be a driver. You need to take control of your existence and be a more active participant or active role. Take a more active role, active choice. Stop listening to other people. Question why. Why am I doing that? How's that work? Why they were always meant to be? And it was just it was changing their relationship with gaming and changing the way they talk about themselves. And that they're the people that I'm like, even if I had, you know, I worked with 10 people and I changed 10, like it makes it all worth it. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about anything else at that point, because I'm literally I've changed people's lives. Yeah. And no one can take that away from me, and no one can take that away from them. And that is priceless. That is absolutely priceless. And yeah, I'll say they're the ones that I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. Yeah. You know, this is special.
Yeah, sick. The amount of conversations we've had, I've never heard you speak about that kind of side of things. Never really thought about it either, like the actual impact it can have on someone's life outside the game.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people don't. Gaming has a very negative connotation in a lot of parts of society, and admittedly, and I think that's reasonable, there are a lot of people that use gaming as an escape. They go home, they've had a shit day, I'm going to go on a PlayStation and just check out, and they just, you know, drink and just smoke weed and play games and like check out from society. And it's almost as if like, okay, you can treat gaming you can treat it like shit, but like anything, but also it can be an awesome vessel to learn about yourself. And you need to be an active participant in it, and you need to know what you're trying to do. And my job is to help that happen, facilitate that mindset shift. This is not something that, there's a difference between having like a hobby where you just waste time. You're actually getting worse mentally versus like becoming better mentally, being proud of the work that you're putting in. It's like, if you're gonna do a hobby, do it properly. Let's get better and let's figure out why are we doing this. You know, it's being intentional.
Sick. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, amazing interview, mate. Thank you for being so honest and sharing your story. No, what's exciting coming up for the rest of the year for you?
Vegas. Getting married in Vegas. I mean, you being there is a highlight now.
More than the wedding.
Yeah, that's it. Screw it. That's the highlight. Vegas. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Congrats, mate. Well done.
Thank you, man.
Oh, shit.